Evening and welcome to the regular meeting of the Revere School Committee. We are now in order. Please rise to pledge allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of the members.
Mr. Ferranti?
Here.
Ms. Gravelisi?
Here.
Mrs. Rizzo?
Here.
Mr. Sinella?
Here.
Ms. Ty?
Here.
Mr. Visconti?
Here.
Mayor Arrigo?
Here. We will start with the superintendent's report. Dr. Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we have just two things on the superintendent's report today. First, Dr. Mokaba is going to give us an update on summer programs throughout the district, and that's going to include our academic programs, our transition programs, and she's also going to talk about the food services free lunch program.
Dr. Mokaba.
Okay. So first I'll talk about our academic and our transition plans. At our elementary school level, all of our elementary summer programs are well underway. Our extended year special education program is taking place at the Beachmont School once again. Our Alphabet program, which is our after-school provider, is taking place once again at the Paul Revere School. We have our transition programs specially designed for those students who are transitioning from 5th to 6th grade. And we also have a transition program for middle school students, 8th graders who are transitioning to the 9th grade. We have our 3 middle school programs are happening once again. This year, our Garfield Middle School program is taking place at the Rumney due to the construction that's happening at the Garfield with the boilers. The enrollment, I spoke with all 3 principals this morning. The enrollment for the 6th grade program, there are 45 students attending per day at the Susan B. Anthony. Close to 60 students attending at the Rumney Marsh, and about 25 students attending the Garfield Middle School transition program. High school students that are 8th graders that are transitioning to the high school, that program is taking place at Revere High School. This is once again an annual program that we offer for our middle school students transitioning to the high school. For existing high school academic programs, we have our credit recovery program that is once again running at Seacoast for those students who are looking to make up credits. And then we have our ELL program, which is happening at Revere High School, our extended year program for our English language learners. It's in the school committee folder.
Okay, direct me from here.
I can talk about our CPAC summer events. Dr. Vidala asked while Dr. Kelly's trying to find the file.
Is it in school committee or
Yes.
school committee presentation?
Presentations.
Okay.
Yes.
Ms. Gravelisi.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. About how many 8th graders are taking the transition program at the high school this year?
Typically, there are about 60. I'm not sure how many are participating this year. It is a successful program. I've worked with Mr. Flynn, who coordinates with the high school, to design and develop that program. I'm not sure how many are participating in that program this year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gravelisi. Any other members?
So I can talk about the CPAC program. Dr. Vidala asked me to share in his absence a little bit about the great events that CPAC is offering for our students. We have events scheduled at alternating times during the month of July and August. Great. There you go. All right. So you can note there are times offered from 12 to 1 on Mondays, right after dismissal from the summer program. So the next one coming up is tomorrow night. And then we have our Wednesday events are 6 to 7. And this right here highlights some of the events that we are offering our students again as a result of the hard work of the CPAC. And these events are scheduled at a few different areas in the community. The ones that happen right after school are at the Beachmont, and then the ones that are happening in the evening happen in a couple of different places. And finally, I'm going to talk about the Revere Summer Eats program. I've included information that we got directly from the RPS Dining Services Instagram account, where there's all of the locations that we're serving breakfast. We're serving food to children under the age of 18. So some of the locations: Beachmont School, Revere Beach Pavilion, Sunny Myers Park, Costa Park. The Paul Revere School is another site. And you can see at the bottom, Charlone Park, Louis Pasteur Park, the Lincoln School, Farmers Market, the RHA Rose Recreation Center, and RHA Adams Court Recreational. And for more information, you can check out Dr. Kelly's Twitter, Dr. Vidala, and the RPS_dining_services on Instagram.
Mr. Sinella.
I didn't notice Gibson Park on there. They used to have a program at Gibson Park, but they don't do that anymore?
It might be the case, Mr. Sinella, that is a city-run food service program. These are the summer lunch programs just through the school department.
No, that was my understanding, because the city doesn't have a lunch program. No, I'm sure that it was researched, if it was canceled, that was, I'm just curious. Is Oak Island?
Yeah, Oak Island's not on that list either, is it? So, may want to look at the locations. Confirm.
Okay, the other quick thing that I wanted to do on the superintendent's report was just give everybody an update on the boiler replacement project that's happening at the Garfield complex. We actually started boiler replacement before school got out. Toward the end of April vacation, they started disconnecting some of the units and dismantling them for removal. And we're at the point now where the old boilers have been completely removed. The new boilers are in place on the pad, and the companies are working on pipe installation, electrical installation, and oil pipe and tank demo. The project has been moving very, very well. We haven't had any hiccups so far. I'll knock on some wood here. So we do anticipate that the construction part of the project will be done before school begins, just before school begins. Of course, we will still be in contact with the construction companies, and they'll still be on site through the end of October when we actually fire the boilers as part of the commissioning process in the beginning of the heating season. But we're very pleased with the project so far, and very pleased that we'll have a building now for the Garfield Elementary students and the Garfield Middle School students with an effective sound roof and an effective sound heating and cooling system, which should improve the quality of the environment in that building altogether. We are currently working with the mayor's office as well on replacing parts of the sprinkler system that we know need to be replaced, and we're hoping that work will be completed before we return to school as well.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Ferranti.
Thank you. Dr. Kelly, do we have approximately a date when all this work would be done?
We are shooting for August 24th, which is the Friday before school starts for kids.
This August.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Any other members? Mr. Visconti.
Dr. Kelly, the amount of people that will be in the school while when school begins, is there any number of, in terms of construction workers, any idea, or?
Yeah, there shouldn't be any. We're hoping that
Okay.
all of the construction work is going to be completed, and the companies will be gone from the site until they come back.
Okay,
In any event, everybody who's working for the construction company, despite the fact that we have no students and no summer programs in the building, we required a query check on
Okay.
every one of them, so.
okay, great, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Sinella?
I think it should be brought to light that the city has a major project going on North Shore Road and the Winthrop Parkway, so that on opening day, if it's, that take a better look at traffic control and traffic, because, I mean, half the time you can't go up North Shore Road, it's patched and big equipment, so they're putting in water lines or something, which is,
Yeah, so the city received, as part of the State Mass Works grant program, over $3 million to rehab the water line along Winthrop Ave. And the work that's being done has been ongoing and should be completed hopefully by the end of the summer. But in the event that it is not and it's still a construction site, we'll have to make the appropriate modifications and the appropriate changes to allow, and notification to allow people to know. It will be a lot, it'll be a lot nicer when it's done. Any other members?
And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kelly. The next item on the agenda is the student representative report. Seeing that we do not have a student representative, we will skip on to public participation. Seeing that there is no public here, we will skip on to the consent calendar. Motion to accept, seconded, roll call.
Mr. Franti?
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi? Yes. Mrs. Rizzo?
Yes.
Mr. Sinella?
yes.
Ms. Ty?
Yes.
Mr. Visconti?
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo?
Yes. On to the report of subcommittees. Any subcommittee reports? Nope. Old business, there is none. New business. Motion to table. All in favor, all opposed? So moved. That was a motion by Ms. Franti. School committee interests. Mrs. Rizzo.
Even though we're in the summer, our school committees always stay educated, so there is a summer conference offered to all school committee people. It will be held this Friday and Saturday in Marlborough, and some of the classes are on restorative justice, school safety, goal setting, and high school starting times. So that will be going on for the weekend, and I can't wait to get my education going.
Thank you, Mrs. Rizzo. Any other members? Oh, Ms. Ty.
Mrs. Gravellisi and I have been commissioned to present to the superintendent a big check, literally. And this is from the Moroccan group, and they're Marcia Incorporated. And we went to I know that a lot of people could not attend the Moroccan Festival because it had been postponed a week, but Mrs. Gravellisi and I were there, and we were commissioned with presenting this check for $1,000 to the school department. They had run the Bob Has soccer tournament, and they raised $4,000 from that tournament, and are presenting this to you so that we can give a scholarship to the Revere High School student in the name of Bob Has, our former mayor. So here it is.
There it is.
And I think,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
and I think the mayor has the real check.
Oh, thank you
So-
very much. I have to say that Marcia has been a great partner to the schools. In addition to this scholarship of $1,000, which is going to help at least one student tremendously as they move on to college, they've worked with us particularly at the Beachmont School with our Moroccan Cultural Festival, and partnered with us when our teachers went on a learning trip to Morocco, and I can't say enough about them. They're a great organization and a wonderful partner to the schools.
Agreed.
Thank you, Ms. Ty. Thank you, Dr. Kelly. Any other members? The next item on the agenda are motions. Mr. Ferranti.
We have several motions tonight. The first one is the removal of non-working televisions at the Beachmont School.
Mr. Chairman, waive the reading.
So a motion to approve?
I move to approve the removal of the non-working televisions at the Beachmont School.
Okay. All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
The second motion is the disposal of outdated textbooks, one broken file cabinet, two non-working televisions, and two non-working VCRs at the AC Whalen School. So moved.
Second?
Second. All in favor, all opposed? So moved.
Third motion is the removal of three broken pianos at SBA Middle School.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, all opposed?
Aye.
So moved.
Fourth motion is the encumbrance of invoice in the amount of $5,425 to the Hearst Landscaping and Site Services.
Would you like
Any
to-
members?
Mr. Chairman,
Mrs. Sinala.
through you to the superintendent, is this part of the building program itself and/or an obligation that the Hill School has for maintaining its grounds?
So this is part of the building project, and blissfully, the electrical box that has been on the middle of the entrance at Park Street has been removed. And these funds, the $5,400, is to repair the pavers that should have existed in place of that electrical box 3 years later.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, motion to approve? Roll call.
Mr. Ferranti?
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi? Mrs. Rizzo?
Yes.
Mr. Sinella?
Yes.
Ms. Ty?
Yes.
Mr. Visconti?
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo?
Yes. Motion
That's all the
approved.
motions.
There's a payment, the payment of the invoice.
Sorry.
Mr. Franti.
Payment of invoice in the amount of $5,425 to Hearst Landscaping and Site Services. So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Ferranti?
Yes.
Ms. Gravellisi? Mrs. Rizzo?
Yes.
Mr. Sinella?
Yes.
Ms. Ty?
Yes.
Mr. Visconti?
Yes.
Mayor Arrigo?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dr. Kelly.
So just for clarification purposes, when we make procurements, we first need to encumber the money and say that we're going to spend it that way, and then we need to actually pay the invoice when it comes in, once we've decided that we can spend the money, hence the two very similar motions.
Okay. And it's the same amount, it's not a duplicative amount. All right, correct.
One is to say that we can spend the funds this way, and the other is to say, go ahead and pay the money.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. With that, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman?
We will adjourn until August 21st at 6 PM. Thank you.